Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the next episode of Punk Rock Ham Radio. The plan today was to do a 10-park Rove, but the bands look completely closed. I think it's radio blackout mode today. Maybe 6 meters might be open. There might be some auroras tonight. The original plan was just to do reconnaissance today along my route for my 10-park Rove, and then I decided that those plans are dumb. Just go and do the Rove. And I woke up today and I saw the band conditions: severe geomagnetic storm and a bunch of other solar conditions. Not good for ham radio waves on POTA rows where you gotta just go fast, park after park after park. So even if I don't make any contacts today and all I get done is the reconnaissance, I'm still planning on having a great time, practicing with all of my gear and getting to know this area and exploring it even further than I already have. So thank you everybody for joining me on this episode of Punk Rock Ham Radio. Let's go activate some parks. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see what happens. Mount Etna. This is the land of the POTA spots. There is 13 spots down here on the southwest side of Fort Lame, about 30 minutes down in the middle of nowhere in farm country. Land of the POTA. We have arrived. Mount Etna State Recreation Area. Our first stop of the day. Here we are at Mount Etna State Recreation Area. It's basically a boat ramp. There's a snowmobile trailhead over there. There's another trailhead over there, the Blood Rot Trail. There's actually some nice backpacking spots that I haven't been to over there. But let's go ahead and get set up. The plan was Yaesu 891, bang it out, 100 watts, single sideband using my 20 meter mobile antenna, the monoband Diamond HF20 CL. But given the conditions, I think we are going to resort to FT8, and I'm going to put my 17-foot whip up because I'm thinking I need as much antenna in the air as possible and see if I can hear anything on 20 meters. This might be one of those days where 6 meters might be worth trying, so let's see what happens. We'll just wait and see and get set up and play it by ear. I also am going to use my vertical whip because if I need to change bands, that'll be a good way to do that. I should have like 6 through 20 to play around with. So let's get on the air. All right, I am making some cues. They're coming in. My last station, I received a +1 signal report and he was +11, and then I got a second cue coming in hot, and the FT8 noises are about 10/9, so I'll take it. Oh, I got him. All right, I'll check back with you guys in a little bit. Let's get 10 and run. Mission accomplished. Park number 1 activated. I got exactly 10 QSOs in about 15 minutes. Not bad. I will take it. The Chameleon whip with the Wolf River coil on it, just that little bit to get it to 20, even though this Chameleon, whatever, SHAS 17, whatever it's called, the 17-foot cool whip is advertised for 6 to 20 meters. It's not actually long enough for 20 meters, but given those results, I might actually get my mobile antenna out so that I can actually drive around with an antenna, because I'm not driving with this thing on my car. All right, let's pack up and get to the next park, and just maybe I can get all 10 parks activated, but we'll see. Here's our exit, Lost Bridge State Recreation Area. All right, we have arrived at the next park, Lost Bridge State Recreation Area. Basically another boat ramp. This should actually be a POTA spot on its own because this is East Lost Bridge, and then there's West Lost Bridge State Recreation Area over there, and then there's a state park, Salamone Lake State Park. You have to pay $7 if you're an Indiana resident to get in there. That's a state park and it's not a POTA spot. So as it stands, there are 13 POTA spots on the map, but there should actually be 16. So when I do my eventual 15 park Rove, I'm probably gonna do it in this vicinity. This is just a gold mine of yellow dots on the map for parks on the year around these 3 reservoirs southwest of Fort Lame. Anyways, enough chatter, more platter. Let's get this done. About to get on the air at the second park. Here's I don't know if you can see that. It's a quick little look at what solar conditions and ham radio propagation look like today. I'm not going to pretend like I know what all this stuff means. I kind of have my head wrapped around a few of these, but it's poor conditions on all bands, sunspot number 97, solar flux 164, geomagnetic storm, severe storm, solar wind is 952, noise floor S9 plus, A index 16, KP index 7, and that's about all that I understand so far. And I think the maximum usable frequency in the continental US is like 15 megahertz today. But FT8's working, so that's what we're gonna keep doing. I always count on a trusty little ICOM 705 and 10 of its watts and some FT8 POTAs on the weekend. There's no such thing as bad conditions, only different conditions. I do kind of wish I had more time to experiment with different bands, try 6 meters, but this is the time that I had to do this Rove with life and work and all of that stuff, so let's do it. Still making cues, no problem. I got 3 so far, getting my 4th one. Nice day today. It's almost 70 degrees. Clear blue sky. Look at that. Okay, let's get our cues and get out of here. I just broke down. Max retries exceeded. Nobody's answering my CQ. And some of these other cues that somebody would call me and then they wouldn't respond. Also, there is a truck that is idling right there. Not really hearing any like ignition noise, a little bit, but as soon as they pulled up, the cues stopped rolling in. Like, you just hurry up and launch your boat and turn your engine off, please. I would appreciate it. Okay, so they just pulled away to go launch their boat. They'll probably be back here in a minute. Let's see if that helps. I really wanted to do a 100-watt single sideband today. Just fast. I want to go fast today. I don't have all day. I have about 7 hours left until the UTC day starts, and I've been on the air here at this spot for about 20 minutes, and I only got 5 cues. That's not fast enough. It is what it is. It's still a beautiful day outside playing with my gear and practicing and learning as I go. They went and launched their boat and turned their engine off. Another person went to go launch their boat. Another truck just drove off. I don't think that's what's going on, but I called CQ 18 times and no response, so I have to try something else. I am wasting time. I'm on FT4 now, see if I can get anything there. And now I have the monoband antenna on my car. All right, I did it. 10 QSOs, only took me a little bit more than a half an hour. FT4 to the rescue, because 7.5 seconds is twice as fast as 15 seconds on and 15 seconds off. Diamond HF20CL, let's go to the next park. And I should just be able to drive with this little mobile antenna on the car. Let's get out of here. I have like 6.5 more hours to do 8 more parks. So see how far we get. Let's go. We have arrived at Mount Hope State Recreation Area. Yet another boat ramp. I got this nice view right here. Starting to wonder, I should maybe think about just busting the 891 out and see what happens. Good experience on a day like today with bands the way that they are. Maybe I will do that. I had to take the antenna off. Some of these little farm roads, the power lines hang really low. I went up this little hill and then the power lines were drooping really low. I could almost fit under it, but almost. It's not good enough. So I had to stop and take the antenna down, and I'm trying to drive real fast through all these little spots because it's a big day plan. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. It is, what time in the afternoon? I could have started earlier too. Yeah, it's almost 2 o'clock. I have 6 more hours left in the UTC day. If I don't get all 10 parks, we still got a lot of reconnaissance done and still had a lot of fun. So that's still a great day. Anytime spent outdoors playing ham radio, tinkering with your radio, and practicing with your gear is still a success. Okay, all set up now. Yaesu 891, 20 meters, single sideband. The band scope looks like this. I don't know if you can see that. But anyways, there's not a lot of signals on there. There's a few strong signals. This could be a terrible idea. It could be an okay idea. It could be a great idea. There's only one way to find out. And I completed the 891 power pole mod. This is the first field test of this mod. It helped me get my radio set up faster. It was one less thing I had to plug in with that other DC to power pole pigtail. I'm gonna turn the camera off and activate. I'll let you know how this goes, just time and editing room time. If I film everything I do on single sideband for like a 10 park Rove, I'm gonna have an hour+ long video and it'll take me forever to patch it all together. Let's get on the air and see what happens. All is not lost. 20 meter single sideband still works. Barely. I got 11 QSOs. Portable logger said 10 minutes. If I factor in the time that I was calling CQ before I made any contacts, I'll give myself a good 12 minutes to get 11 Qs. I'll take it. So let's get onward to the next park. It is now 2:24. Even if I don't make it by the end of the UTC day, I've made a decision. I'm still gonna activate all 10 parks. And then now I'll know this area better and I'll have that much more experience for the next time I try to go bang out this Rove. Let's start our engines and get to that next park.
Turn left onto East 100 South, County Road 100 South.
Salamone River State Forest.
In a quarter mile, you will arrive at your destination.
Here we are, Salamone Lake State Forest. There's a cool shelter area and some picnic sites back there. I don't have time to go exploring everything. It's 100 watts single sideband, Yaesu 891 or bust. I have a digi-rig with me if I wanted to switch to digital modes, 20, 30 watts maybe, but I don't have a laptop with me and I don't have time to switch radios again. So let's get activated. I'm activated, 11 QSOs in about 14 minutes. I will take it. It's time to move on to the next park. And I can say, I know what ignition noise sounds like in my radio. Look at all these cars. It's a beautiful day to be outdoors in Indiana. And that Toyota Tundra that was next to me was not making ignition noise. I heard some ignition noise at the first park. There was a big red truck. And I thought, what's going on? And then I'm in this crowded parking lot, and there was a Chevy over there that drove past and making a bunch of staticky noise. And my car makes noise. If I turn my ignition on, but I don't start the engine, it makes a bunch of noise too. So cool. Now I know that. Let's move on to the next park. Pulling up to the next park, Dora, New Holland, State Recreation Area, something, something, right over here. Another boat ramp. In the land of northern Indiana of reservoirs and boat ramps and POTA spots as
1,000 feet,
far as the eye can see. And here it is, and there's more trucks and more boats, because it's a perfect day if you're driving a boat on that lake.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the right.
I want a
Your
boat.
destination is on the right.
Dora, New Holland boat ramp with lots more trucks and lots more boats. I made it this time with the antenna on the car. There's still some really low hanging power lines. I unplugged the radio just as a precaution, but we made it. It was only 6 minutes away from that last spot. Let's get activated. I'm activated, 12 QSOs in about 15 minutes. I'll take it. I gotta rove on to the next park. So I got 5 parks in so far. I got all the parks around Salamone Reservoir. I gotta get down to the Mississauga. So let's start our engines and get over there. Let's go. Roving onward. That's like 4 p.m. Indiana time. I got about 7 more minutes to the next park at the next reservoir. They're about 20 minutes apart. All these reservoirs southwest of Fort Wayne, there's just POTA spots clustered everywhere. Let's go get them. Almost there, just right around this corner. Pearson Mill, State Recreation Area, Department of Natural Resources. There she is,
In 1,000
Lake
feet, turn right.
Mississauga. This is the biggest lake out of the 3. Roche Lake, Salamone Lake, and Mississauga.
Turn right, then turn left.
Road ends in water, because guess what? Surprise! It's another boat ramp.
Turn left, then you will arrive at your destination.
Boats. I want to drive a boat. I think if I go up here, I can get up a little bit higher ground.
Turn right, then you will arrive at your destination. In 500 feet, make a U-turn.
Whoa, bump.
Make a U-turn.
No, this is where I'm going to activate, Google. Here we are at Pearson Mill State Recreation Area, another boat ramp, one of many boat ramps and POTA spots littered all around these reservoirs here in Northeast Indiana in the greater Fort Lame area, about 45 minutes an hour outside of town. Antenna is up, the Diamond HF20 CL mobile antenna. Let's get the park activated. I have 4 more hours to do 5 more parks. If this goes the way the last 2 activations go, around 10, 12 QSOs in about 15 minutes, we should be good. So things are looking up. It's off to a rough start there. But let's get busy. Oh, got some noise. Look at this band scope. I don't know if you can see it that well in the camera. These like oscillations going down the band. It's only like a peaks of 1 or a 2 on the meter. I think we should be good. I can also hear, I don't know if you can hear it in the microphone. There's what sounds like an engine or a generator coming from that direction. Well, I don't have time to figure out what it is. Let's just do the best that we can. And then there's this right here, those transformers. And this building over here, I'm parked right over there. I can still hear an engine in the distance. I don't think it's that, maybe it's that, maybe it's some 60 cycle thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Okay, let's get on the air. I don't think it's gonna stop me. All right, I'll check back with you guys in just a minute. I did it. 12 QSOs in about 15 minutes again, and Yaesu 891 noise blanker to the rescue. I was having a hard time at first getting my first 2 contacts. I flipped on the noise blanker. That helped a lot. Anyways, I'm running out of time. I got 4 more parks in about 3.5 hours. So let's go and do that. I'll see you at the next park. Please stand by. Going across the lake again, another bridge. Mississauga. Our destination's right over there at that marina. What's it called? Red Bridge State Recreation Area? Warning, road ends in water.
Your destination.
No shit, Sherlock. Let's go find a spot. Welcome to Red Bridge State Recreation Area. It's basically a big marina place. I got a POTA parking spot. That's enough dawdling. Let's get activated. I'm activated. I got, what, 15 QSOs that time? How many did I just get? 13. In about 12 minutes, I'll take it. And that noise, that oscillating 60 cycle muck, whatever it was not there anymore. So that was unique to that location. Bands have still been kind of the same. I'd say maybe they got a little bit better that time. Anyways, I'm at 7 parks. I got 3 more to go and I got 3 more hours. So we're looking pretty good. Let's go get that POTA paper. Almost to the next park. Miami State Recreation Area. Mississauga Lake, Miami State Recreation Area.
Miss Campground Road, Miss Campground 16.
Which I think is inside of Mississauga State Park, which is this whole area. I think, we'll have to double check that. I swear, I think these reservoirs, all 3 of them, there's actually 15 or 16 state recreation park DNR areas. Okay, I gotta give these people 7 of my dollars. Here we are. I have arrived at Miami State Recreation Area, which I think is inside of Mississauga State Park, if it is a state park. Anyways, that's not important right now. Dead ahead, there's a big beach parking area that's really cool. So that's where we're gonna go set up. It's right over here.
Turn right, then your destination will be on the left.
Ooh, I want some pizza and some ice cream. Is the concession stand
Your
open?
destination is on the left.
I don't know. I don't have time for that. Okay, there's a bunch of people over there. Let's go over here. Look at that big ass lake. This is a cool view. Let's go ahead and get away from all of the nice people. Okay, somewhere over here. Here we are. Miami State Recreation Area on Mississauga Lake. This is a giant recreation area and the concession store is open. There's lots of campgrounds here. I can't wait to come back and explore this place more. But right now, we have a park that needs activating and the clock is ticking. So let's go ahead and do that. I got it barely exactly 10 in about 20 minutes. I had to work for him. Signal reports are down there. I'm almost there. I have 8 parks activated and 2 more hours left in the UTC day. So let's keep on trucking. Here we go, over the dam, Mississinawa Dam, headed to Francis Slocum State Recreation Area, and then we'll end our day at the Okefenokee spot, Francis Slocum State Forest. Francis Slocum State Recreation Area, welcome.
In a quarter mile, slight right. Head southeast, then turn left. Turn left,
And I'm
then
thinking
turn right.
this spot, hey, yeah, it's quiet, Google, I don't need you anymore. I'm thinking just right over here. Actually, no, there's a lot of trees over here. Let's go out over there into the more open area. This is that same spot. Carlos and I were chasing the space station around. It looks a lot different now. There's a lot more trees. Oh, my antenna's gonna hit this tree. That's okay. Okay, I didn't break anything and I didn't electrocute my radio. Yeah, this place looks good. There's a lot of cool stuff down that road. I don't have time to explore everything. Just activate parks. This'll do. Let's activate and I'll check back with you in a few minutes. I'm activated. I got 1 more park and I got an hour and a half to get it done. Last stop of the day. It's the Okefenokee Woods, that Horseman's Day Use area, that place I was scoping out a while back. It's right around the corner. Oh, let's go get that thing. I got about, how many cues did I get? I'm activated. I got 10 QSOs plus 1 park to park was in 2 parks. So I got 11 cues for parks on the air. All right, let's get over there. Right around the corner, over here. Oh, it's right here. It's closer than I thought it was. Horseman, parking lot, day use only. At Francis Slocum State Forest, also known as the haunted Okefenokee Woods. My antenna's smacking against the branches. If you're gonna activate this park, I would suggest coming to this spot other than the other spot. There's usually always people at the main entrance to this place. And that's where all those weirdos go and do their rituals and ghost hunting things in the middle of the night. I have never ever seen a car here in this area. Francis Slocum State Forest. All right, here we are. I have an hour and 20 minutes to get 10 contacts. I think I can do it here at the Francis Slocum State Forest, AKA the haunted Okefenokee Woods. You can go watch other video if you want to know about all the crazy ghost stories about this place. And for the last activation here, I am in a bunch of trees, so I decided I want a little more antenna. The Chameleon Whip and the Wolf River Coil. And I'm kind of parked in the middle of this cul-de-sac to try to get as much line of sight to the sky as I possibly can. Well, that's what we're doing. I'm gonna get on the air and I will report back in just a little bit. Dun, dun, dun. I did it. 10 parks in 1 UTC day. Mission objectives accomplished. I did it, and I did it during a severe geomagnetic storm. The A index right now is at like 126. I'm gonna say it, there are no such thing as bad band conditions, only different band conditions. And don't let that stop, don't let that website, whatever it says on that website, stop you. Go get outdoors, set up your gear, and gain experience. I learned so much today. It's not just the band conditions, but with the cars going by and the ignition sounds and that 60 cycle oscillating thing going down my band scope, and then the noise blanker on my 891 blanking it out. That was cool. These last few parks I had to work a lot harder, like the conditions are deteriorating. It would have been a fun day to experiment with 6 meters or some other bands, but I had to get the job done. Another lesson that I learned is just stick to the plan. My plan was 100 watts, single sideband, 891. I got out and I saw those conditions. I'm like, okay, I can only do digital today. And I wasted so much time changing radios and doing this and sitting there for a half an hour calling CQ POTA on FT8 with no response. And it was refreshing once I just set up the 891 and let's just see what happens. And I'm still making ham. So before we wrap up, I want to show you a few more things about how I got my route and everything organized. So this is what I did here. I have Gaia GPS. I have all of these waypoints of where I wanted to set up inside of the park. I've been studying all of this. Well, I've been to all of these parks a bunch of times, so I kind of knew my way around, and then I made myself a list of all of the parks I wanted to activate in the order that I wanted to activate them. And with a little bit of help from Google Maps, that's how I did that. And stick to the plan always, and get outdoors, activate parks, and have fun. Well, that's all I got for now. This is Punk Rock Ham Radio signing out. Thank you guys so much for being here and for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you never miss a single episode of Punk Rock Ham Radio. And join me on all of my wacky Punk Rock Ham Radio outdoor Parks on the Air adventures. I'll see you guys next time. 7-3.